Hello, Serge here. We're under the domed hitting area at Orange County National Golf Club, which is in Orlando. And last week we were talking about coming from you from Orlando, sunny Orlando, but I guess today it's quite rainy. And fortunately for this dome over here where we're doing our golf school, it's kept us dry, and we're able to do all our activities at the Serge Golf School that we're doing here. And I think some of you might recognize this gentleman in the red. This is the Rolfer golfer, Bruce Chaffin. And this is a new guy here. This is David Seaman. He's a PGA professional from where?
Wilmington, Delaware.
Wilmington, Delaware. And Dave is one of our first certified professionals. He's working here with us at the golf school. And in fact, today, Dave and I, he handled the computer when we videotaped everybody and did the analysis. But the Rolfer's here. As you know, he's a Rolfer and what is it, certified massage therapist? Is that what it is?
Yeah, sports therapist.
And we brought him in to do a physical, what would you call it?
It's a physical assessment for all the golfers, and it's basically a golf-related assessment. It's a way to see if everybody's got a good mobility and stability that will help them perform a good golf swing. And without a fail, today, 100% of the people had balance issues. And balance issues are really easy to fix with just some practice. But if you're not able to get to a finish position and carry your weight on one foot well balanced, it's going to cause you problems backing up, things like that. And so there's a number of assessments we did.
Was that good?
Yeah, a little pirouette there, that worked. But without a doubt, that was one of the common things everybody had an issue with, was balance, and it's easy to work on that.
Now we have at least two guys that are in the mid to high 30s. And most of the other ones are closer to my age.
Yes.
Was there a difference between the younger guys and the older gentlemen?
Not necessarily. In fact, one of the older gentlemen, it was amazingly, he did have good balance. He was the one exception that was able to balance and do it with his eyes closed.
And I'm pretty sure I got pretty good balance.
Yes.
But historically, with all these tests you do you find that one age group has more issues with balance?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You'd be surprised how some of the younger people even have balance issues. And it's one of those things that's easy to fix, and just with a little bit of practice you can start working on developing better balance, which really helps also if you got a swing that may be a little bit out of whack. It'll help from throwing you forward or backward out of balance.
Right. So in other words, like I've always told folks, I swing and lock in my finish, and then my goal is to get to that finish. And so
A balanced
but I
finish.
have a good sense of what my balanced finish is.
Right.
And so because I have that sense in my mind, and I guess it's partially too because everybody's always been taught that you have muscle memory, but I say no, it's not muscle memory. And many of the sports psychologists will agree that it's not muscle memory, it's mental memory. And I've also talked about knowing where my target is to be able to finish at my target. And so all of these things are locking into dynamic balance.
Yes.
Because remember, it's dynamic balance because you're in dynamic motion versus like a tripod being static balance.
Correct.
So we're testing that, and we're probably going to start hopefully offering this at more golf schools, and ultimately, have it more available from more places. Because once you know what your balance is, you got a better chance of getting to that balanced finish. And but again, we have to have a good setup and make the correct swings, which will keep us in balance better. But I guess you're saying the worst thing is to be trying to make a good swing and be pretty close to it, but have no clue of balance in the end, and that could give you a problem there. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Okay, so how long does this little test take for you?
A little test with me is just a complete analysis of the golf swings, about a 10-15 minute test, and then there's a whole array of things that you can do to improve mobility, stability, range of motion, balance, little things that you can do at home that are good to do anyway for good physical fitness,
so you're
but
gonna
they're
send,
golf specific.
And you're going to send them a little analysis of
Yeah,
some of the
everyone
things
in
they
the
should
class
do.
is going to get an analysis and a workout program to show them what they want to do at they can do it at home, at a gym, whatever. But all of these movements, like I said, not only benefit physical fitness, but especially golf fitness and movement.
Okay, Dave, you're a PGA professional, pretty good player too.
Occasionally.
Occasionally, okay. That's when you're not having to work too much, huh?
We're working on it.
Okay, question I want to ask you is you came and you got certified in our first program we did in Charlotte back in December, the early part of December last year. And were you a vertical swinger before?
I think when I was younger, I was more vertical.
How long have you been playing golf?
Since I was 10.
And so that puts back, you played pre-90 when the paradigm shift came of changing us over to the X-Factor swing, which is now what we call rotational.
Right.
So because of being in the PGA and going to education seminars and predominantly only rotational being taught, you basically were switched over.
I was switched over and didn't really know it.
Right. And again, that's what's happened to a lot of folks. I mean, when I play in our Carolinas PGA senior stuff, I mean, I know all the seniors I'm playing with grew up at the same time as me. I know some of these guys back 30 years ago or 35 years ago,
Right.
when we were playing mini tours down here trying to get our PGA Tour cards and everything else, they weren't swinging this way. And they're getting the bad backs and they're going rotational. And I've thought about trying to ask a whole bunch of them, can you find me videos or pictures of you back when you were in college and you were first playing, and let's compare them that to
Well,
today.
I remember at the end of the seminar, I showed you that picture from 1983 from college,
That's right, yeah.
and you said,
You look quite different.
yeah, I had hair. I
I
had
was gonna-
hair
yeah,
then,
you had hair, huh?
and a little bit thinner. But the thing that you said was you were much more vertical in those swings.
Right. We all were, because that's
Yeah.
what the basic swings I was taught, was high hands here and high hands there.
Yep.
Okay, good. We had 11, 12 students, whatever. How many of them were lined up correctly?
0.
0. That means in every swing surgeon school that we've done, in a year and a half to almost 2 years now, we are still at 0 persons being lined up correctly. And many of them are astounded because they think they thought they had perfect alignment, and many of them knew exactly my statement about 90 to 95% of all swing problems arise out of alignment, and they're really working on it, but they're still not getting it right because there's an optical illusion with the eyes. I've talked about that a lot. And again, many of their swing problems arise out of alignment, especially for a righty. If they're aiming right, they're into chicken winging, coming through, trying to pull the club back, and as they pull it around themselves, they're falling back to the back foot. And many of those things will clean up or clear up as we get them lined up better.
We saw it today.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
and we had 5 of them that were crisscrossed. That means in many cases, if they were right-handed, the feet were aimed to the right and his shoulders were aimed to the left. And that's even worse because now they're standing there with the back arm high and the club's going outside, and it really confounds a whole bunch of things, and it's a very bad power leak because half of your body's aiming one way, the other half's aiming the other way. And so we got to get them back to toes, knees, hips, shoulders, and eyes parallel left. In other words, the ball's on your outside railroad track, and from the toes all the way up are lined up correctly, in line, straight line, the same, and not crisscrossed. So we were batting a 0 on that. Still batting 0. And so, as I said, alignment, alignment, alignment. Don't play golf without it. So we thought we'd bring that in, and we'll keep you up to date on the alignment. So check your alignment, because as you know, as you've heard me say 1,000 times, 90 to 95% of all swing problems arise out of alignment. So tomorrow we'll be working hard on alignment on the range and straighten up the swings, and that came up for that. We'll come back to you again tomorrow from Orange County National, and hopefully we'll be outside in the sun because it won't be raining. But I'll tell you what, it is nice. It's not, as you can see, he's wearing a sweater, I'm wearing, and we're both wearing jackets. It's kind of cool here. And so, which was nice today, but if the sun's out tomorrow, I know it'll be really hot and humid after all this rain. But for now, with the Rolfer, Dave, the Surge, we'll be talking to y'all again soon, and very likely tomorrow.